Dave, thank you. All new this morning, school is in full swing for Michigan students, but many districts are facing an alarming shortage of teachers. That challenge even greater when it comes to male educators. 13 on your side's Deja Barrett is live in studio with us this morning. Deja, tell us about this shortage of male teachers and how that's affecting.
Hey, Emily, good morning. So it's a widespread and continuous problem across the state. Now, I spoke with a West Michigan educator who says it's important for students to have educators that look like them.
The percentage of teachers in Michigan is really consistent with the national percentage of male teachers. It has long time been a shortage, but in Michigan, for years, we were a top producer of teachers, and over the last decade or so, the percentage of teachers that Michigan is producing broadly has shifted quite a bit.
Between 2016 and 2020, Michigan saw the second steepest decline in the country in teacher preparation. And with the already alarming rate of teacher shortages across the state, that decline is even steeper when it comes to male educators. And it takes a nosedive when it comes to Black male teachers.
All right, so we have some positions for you guys to take. My favorite one is the teacher's assistant.
Stephen Smith teaches art at Alger Middle School.
Yeah, so my journey as an art teacher has been a non-traditional route.
It was his senior year at Fisk University when he knew he wanted to impact the lives of young people.
So I came into education through discipline. So I did discipline my first 12 years, and then my last 3 years have been art.
15 years an educator, his impact now making bold strokes in Grand Rapids public schools.
And we need a paint passer.
However, male teachers in the classroom is a picture that's fading in color.
It's really seen across the state of Michigan. I think where we see the most variation is in the grade level and the subject areas. So male teachers tend to work in secondary settings, and we have a more significant shortage in elementary settings and early childhood. But we see this teacher shortage broadly in urban communities, suburban communities, and rural communities across the state.
Did you grow up seeing teachers that look like you?
I had a third grade teacher that looked like me, and I felt like she was one of my favorites, as well as I had a fourth grade teacher that was an Asian lady who was one of my favorites as well. Late in high school, I had a male teacher, a Black male teacher, and he was very impactful in my life. He played like a fatherhood role in a time where it was needed. So I had a little representation, but not as much as I would have liked in my earlier years.
According to the American Institute for Boys and Men, only 23% of America's K-12 educators are male. And the Michigan Educator Workforce Initiative says the male teacher shortage is primarily seen in early childhood and elementary education.
We just broadly have a shortage of teachers that identify as people of color in the state. The percentage of Michigan students that identify as students of color is around a third, so around 35%. Only 10% of Michigan's teachers identify as people of color. This is particularly true for Black males, so the percentage of Black males in the field is even less.
There was studies that were done in elementary that say Black boys who have a Black teacher by third grade have a higher graduation rate. And the dropout rate is dropped by 40% if you've had a Black teacher by the time you were in elementary school.
MEWI says they're working to fill those gaps in the teacher pipeline by running several programs that address disproportionate teacher shortages in Michigan.
And we're seeing really good results from those programs. Talent Together over the last 2 years has had 5,000 applicants for the program and has admitted 1,200 candidates. About 35% of those candidates identify as people of color. So more closely matching the student demographics, which is really important because we want students to be able to see themselves in their teachers.
And when it comes to reflection, just like the colors in a rainbow, Smith says representation truly matters.
I think that it's very important to have a diverse perspective in your classroom. So, you know, it's important to have all different types of teachers, and each specific person plays a specific role.
We don't have only female students. And so again, we want students to be able to see themselves in their teachers. And I think the reason that people say that is largely because of the financial aspect of teaching. There is a narrative, sometimes a false narrative, that you can't have a career in teaching because you can't make a salary that will allow you to, you know, to have a family.
I have to break that stereotype when often people are saying like teachers don't make any money. You could let them know like there's a little money in education. Like it's not, you know, it's not at the bottom, and you could always work your way up.
The barriers that most consistently are faced for people aspiring to be teachers are the cost, of course. College is expensive. The amount of time it takes. You have to often leave your full-time job to do student teaching, to become a teacher, and then just managing the complexities of becoming a teacher.
One of the specific barriers is that when you're getting certified, that test can be pretty hard, but there's resources to study, and I specifically have found some study materials that help a lot.
We have a hard time really recruiting candidates, males in particular, into early childhood education. We are seeing some positive movement in that area through My Early Apprentice, particularly in terms of addressing the barriers that people of color face. About 55% of folks in that particular program identify as people of color. So we think that by removing the barriers to teaching, it allows people who have wanted to become teachers for a long time but just haven't had the access to be able to do so.
My experience has been amazing, especially here at GRPS. As a teacher, I feel valued, I feel heard, I feel seen, and I share that with people. My job is fun, and I get to love my job. I get to come happy, I get to leave happy, so it's exciting. I really enjoy being able to share my successes with students and allowing them to see something that's not like natural, and then I'm right there in front of them, and I'm able to show them like, oh, I might win an award or something, and share it with them. And they're like, my teacher did this. And I'm like, hey, I just started. Like, I haven't been doing this a long time. So you guys are most likely gonna be better than me if you take it serious. So it's like I get this exchange with the students that is in real time.
Mr. Smith isn't your typical art teacher. He's also an adjunct professor at Grand Valley State University. He's a former art prize winner, and he and his wife own Muse GR, an art gallery on Grand Rapids West Side, where they often host and support his students' work. And when it comes to the stigma of male teachers, Michigan Educator Workforce says their recruitment and retention efforts are year-round to help the overwhelming shortage of male educators and other underrepresented groups. An extensive topic right there. Now, Mr. Smith, in that conversation, he tells me he feels like he is fulfilling the need of being that male figure for his students at Alger Middle School, and he hopes to continue to inspire and encourage other men to look up at him to get into the classroom. In the studio, Deja Barrett, 13 on your side.